Hi, welcome to Rosebank Farm. This is How Does Your Garden Grow 4-H project, and this is episode 4. In this episode, we're going to go over some activities in the project book that my granddaughter had to fill out and plan. So let's turn the camera around and take a look at her book. Okay, so for activity 2, Time to Design, my granddaughter had to go over this checklist to decide what kind of garden she was going to do. So she's going to tell you about it right now.
If you want, pick a theme for the garden. Butterflies, cut flowers, all blue, fragrance, etc. I picked a butterfly garden. If your garden is in the ground, decide if it is a border using containers. Plan how to group and display them. I used an island bed. Decide if the in-ground garden is shaped by straight lines and sharp angles or curved lines and soft angles. For the container garden, decide what containers to use. I use a circle because it has a tire. Learn about simple designs, principles such as contrast, scale, balance, massing, and repetition. What kind of design appeals to you? Contrast. Learn about color and select either warm or cool color scheme for your garden. Warm.
Nice job. On the next page, my granddaughter had to draw a scale drawing of what she plans to do for her garden. So the scale is each one of the squares on this grid is 1 foot. So here's her garden.
These white ones are daisies, and the red and these ones are tick seed.
The tick seed.
Yeah, yep. And this one is my
rain
gauge to see how much rain has went into it. And these 3 are milkweed.
Milkweed.
And then this is bee balm and Mr. Bud.
Nice job. The next page in her garden book, she needs to visit 2 public gardens or parks where there are flower beds and identify the design principles. So we still need to do this one. And we also need to find some container plantings around city sidewalks or parks or at a mall and talk about the color scheme, warm or cool, and what design principles they used. So here, my granddaughter's going to go over her plans for success.
My placement of the plants is we put tall plants in the middle of the island bed, and we picked a theme for butterflies.
And we have
an art feature as rain gauge.
And your colors are mostly, let me get the color wheel in the picture there.
Green, yellow, orange, red, violet.
Yeah, because we have the purple cone flower.
Yeah.
So over here on the next page, the hardest part was planning
big plants versus small plants.
How we're going to fit the tall plants versus the short plants, and that's why we're going to go with a really tall milkweed in the middle of that.
Yeah.
Why is planning your garden the first step in any gardening adventure?
Because you have to know what you are doing.
And is having a map of your garden helpful?
So you know where everything goes.
Perfect. The next activity is activity 3, picking your plants, and this was the really fun part. My granddaughter had to use at least 3 different annual plants and do the plants requirements, light and soil match our site conditions. They do. And we did pick flowers specifically for attracting butterflies. And we already did the size and the positioning of the bed. And for the care, we're going to fertilize once a week and deadhead just the tick seed I think we have on your chart.
Me and my mom cut them off with scissors.
Yeah, that's deadheading. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so it says, let's look at the plant picker chart example and fill it in. So I'm going to turn it around like that. And why don't you tell everybody what you picked?
I picked swamp milkweed, and I picked purple coneflower and bee balm, and blazing star, tick seed, and phlox.
Yeah, creeping phlox. Yes. And all over here, they're all easy care. And there's the placement, the middle of the bed for the really tall milkweed, around the outside towards the middle. And there's her comments that the blazing star is a monarch magnet and that she needs to deadhead the coreopsis or the tick seed. Some other challenges that my granddaughter had to do was to find out about certain annual plants. So we picked petunias, and we found out that there are 4 main types of petunias: the grandiflora, multiflora, milliflora, and spreading, also called wave petunia. And there are, within those 4 main types, over 85 different varieties of petunias that you can buy. The next activity says plant breeders are always developing new annuals. So we went to Proven Winners. If we go down here in her project book, it says for resources, it says you can check out the Proven Winners website, and that was really cool. They also have recipes for containers on there, as well as all different kinds of plants and the new plants that they're introducing. So that was really helpful. I really enjoyed that. So back up here, some new plants this year. Proven Winners had a berry blend lantana, sweet Caroline, potato vine, and snow princess lobellaria were some of their new annuals. All right, so over on this page, my granddaughter is going to talk about what she did. So you used your plant picker chart. Was that helpful, and what are some other things you had to consider?
It says they attract butterflies. We went to monarchwatch.org.
.org, website.
We had to get milkweeds for butterflies.
Okay. As you worked on your design, location, and flower choices, did you have to change anything from your original plan?
Yes, we had to switch up plants choices because they weren't at
Catalpa Grove Farm. That's the nursery we went to, and we couldn't find all our choices there. So yes, we had to make some switches. Does everything always work out like you planned?
No. We were supposed to go camping. Our campsite got flooded, so we were planning fun days.
Okay. So things don't always work out like you planned. Okay, and so what other responsibilities do you already have at home, at school, or with another 4-H project that relate to considering alternatives and making a decision?
My sewing project and design them.
There's a lot of patterns.
Yeah.
There is a lot of patterns to choose from. Well, thank you for watching this episode of 4-H How Does Your Garden Grow? I hope you enjoyed seeing the activities that my granddaughter has to do in planning out her 4-H project. These children really do put a lot of work and effort into every 4-H project because there are so many learning activities that they have to do to complete their project. So stay tuned for further episodes.
Subscribe to our channel on Rosebank Farm.
And we will see you
in the next
video.
Bye!